roadblock. Terms and conditions apply.
Telugu actor and Telugu Desam Party leader at one time, Nandamuri Harikrishna, is no more. He died in a tragic road accident in Nalgonda in Telangana. Members of Nandamuri Harikrishna's family, as well as the film fraternity and the Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu, rushed to the hospital to receive the remains. B.S. Yediyurappa accuses the government of tapping his phone lines, also states that the government is tapping the lines of Siddaramaiah. Pejawar Shri slammed the coalition government as well as the opposition for not focusing on the welfare of the people of Karnataka. The Supreme Court to hear petition against the arrests of human rights activists this afternoon. Arrests were made on charges of plotting to kill the Prime Minister. You're watching News 9. I'm Nikhil Vasukina. Nandamuri Harikrishna passed away from a tragic accident earlier this morning after his car collided with a median, rolled over, and he was thrown out of the vehicle, leading to severe internal injuries and head injuries. He died soon after. Now, there is CCTV footage that has emerged just prior to his trip to Nellore, where his car can be seen passing right through this particular street in the early hours of the day. He was on his way to Nellore in the early morning, and this CCTV footage of his car, albeit very bright considering he was driving at night, so not much can be seen of the vehicle, but this has been identified as his vehicle, going by the technology provided to the police as well to zoom in to his number plate to confirm that this is in fact Nandamuri Harikrishna's vehicle. This was in perhaps the hours preceding his unfortunate accident that led to his death. It was a grey Toyota Fortuner that was overtaking another vehicle. Now, the number of the car in which Nandamuri Harikrishna was traveling is AP 282323, and the car in which his son, who died in an accident a few years ago too, was traveling in the car numbered 2323. Many are now contemplating if there was any connection whatsoever between the car number and the accidents. This has, of course, led to a lot of speculation as well, considering that his son Janki Ram also died along the same highway in December 2014. This is CCTV footage of the moments preceding his death. He was still seen moving, but in a lot of pain, but in a matter of minutes after being found by onlookers, he died. Onlookers tried to revive him, but in moments he died as a result of severe injuries. He could be seen turning his head and moving his arm, but died soon after. There were severe head injuries and internal injuries and internal bleeding that led to his death. Now, CCTV footage just shows that his car is passing by that particular street at the time. It bore the number plate AP 282323. This is the spot where the accident happened. This is the car on which Nandamuri Harikrishna's car toppled over. It's a Toyota Corolla, the driver of which was saved with minor injuries as well. And he stated that the car rolled over a few times after ramming into a median. The car rammed the Fortuner that was driven by Nandamuri Harikrishna, while overtaking, rammed into the median and skidded, rolled over, and ended up hitting a Toyota Corolla. This is a visual of Harikrishna's car, that AP28BW 2323, lying on its side. Severe crushing of the structural frame has also happened, and it was reported that Nandamuri Harikrishna was not wearing a seatbelt at the time, and that led to him being thrown out of the vehicle. Harikrishna was said to have driven the car at an excessive speed of 160 kilometers per hour. His co-occupant, Shivaji, was belted in at the time. He suffered a broken leg. Earlier today, his sons, Junior NTR and Nandamuri Kalyanaram, both popular actors in their own right, arrived at the hospital to receive the remains of their late father. His sister Purandareshwari also arrived to see her brother. She was in tears as well. This is an awful tragedy that has befallen the family. They all arrived at the hospital in Nalgonda. Nandamuri Harikrishna was the son of N.T. Ramarao, who was the founder of the Telugu Desam Party and a chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, and a veteran actor and thespian in his own right. This is his sister Purandeshwari having reached. And in this vehicle is his younger brother, popular actor Nandamuri Balakrishna or Balayya, also in a state of anguish and grief. Balakrishna arrived at the hospital a little while ago to receive the remains of his brother. And earlier today, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu, who incidentally also happens to be Harikrishna's brother-in-law, arrived at the hospital, and while doing so also inquired about the health of other patients in the hospital. He came there to be with the family as well. Not only was it a political leader from the Telugu Desam Party, it was his brother-in-law who was lying deceased in the hospital. Chandrababu Naidu was seen engaging with doctors as well, but his priority was to see the family, his family, the sons of Harikrishna as well, while he arrived at the hospital, paid his condolences to the deceased. Meanwhile, popular actor Jagapati Babu also arrived at the hospital to condole the sudden tragic death of Nandamuri Harikrishna. Jagapati Babu arrived a little while earlier today. Along with him is director Trivikram as well. Amid screams from fans who are gathered there to also catch a final glimpse of the late actor-politician. On the left is Chandrababu Naidu and his son paying tributes, a floral tribute to the late Nandamuri Harikrishna. That's Chandrababu Naidu's son Nara Lokesh is also seen paying a floral tribute. There's a large crowd gathered outside, and that has necessitated a heavy police presence to ensure that nothing goes awry and that the transition of the remains from the hospital to the home remains smooth. The remains will be taken to Harikrishna's Hyderabad home, where there will be a public viewing for family, friends and fans, following which it's likely that the last rites will be conducted tomorrow. Janaki Ram, his eldest son, died in 2014. along similar circumstances. Here are more visuals of Nandumuri Balakrishna, popular actor and the younger brother of Nandumuri Harikrishna, having arrived as well. More and more visitors from across the film fraternity and the political fraternity have been happening. And the fraternity, given the tragic circumstances under which this death happened, have been left in a state of shock. Local leaders from across the political spectrum, mostly from the Telugu Desam party, had arrived at the hospital. These are live visuals coming in from Nalgonda. Seems to be a lot of activity. Junior NTR is at the gate itself. These are live visuals coming in. Junior NTR walking back in. It does appear that this is the ambulance that will be carrying the remains of Nandumuri Harikrishna. It's being guided in. Junior NTR and Kalyan Ram are there. This is the ambulance that will be carrying the remains of Nandumuri Harikrishna. It's perhaps a matter of minutes now that Nandumuri Harikrishna's remains will be carried out of this hospital and brought into the ambulance. The whole family enjoyed immense popularity in the world of films as well as the world of politics, and Harikrishna's death is being seen as a void created as well. Despite his relatively shorter film career, some of his roles have been declared as critically acclaimed. This is in Mehdipatnam in Hyderabad. Here we see Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu just exiting from his vehicle as well, followed by his son Nara Lokesh. They seem to be walking inside the hospital to complete the formalities. Here we see the preparations underway inside the ambulance that will be carrying the remains of Nandumuri Harikrishna. These are live visuals coming in from Mehdipatnam in Hyderabad, just outside where not far from where the accident happened. The remains are being carried out. The remains of Nandumuri Harikrishna are outside the ambulance now. These are at the residence. These are visuals from the residence of Nandumuri Harikrishna. The body has in fact just arrived at the residence in Mehdipatnam in Hyderabad. Short journey from the hospital. A large crowd has gathered, well-wishers, family members, friends, fans, all to catch a last glimpse of the late actor. There's a very heavy police presence to ensure that crowds are brought under control. These are live visuals coming in from Mehdipatnam in Hyderabad, the residence of Nandamuri Harikrishna. The remains have just arrived at the residence and will be placed for public viewing.
Okay, frame. Ready, then ready, no? 1 2 3 1 2 3 hello 1 2 3.
Fans are coming from far and wide and have gathered just outside.
Hello.
There is a heavy security and police presence as well to ensure that there is nothing that hinders movement of people, those who are associated with the actor politician. This is the Mehdipatnam residence of Nandamuri Harikrishna, where the body will be kept for viewing. It appears the road is being cleared now for the ambulance to back up.
కొద్ది నిమిషాల క్రితమే హరికృష్ణ పార్థివ దేహం ఆయన ఎంతో ఇష్టమైన నివాసం.
On the left is a clip from a popular film from the year 2003, Tiger Harish Chandra Prasad, where the title character was played by Nandamuri Harikrishna. It's a critically acclaimed film where he plays the role of a leader of the masses. It was such character roles for which he was popular. Here we see Nandamuri Balakrishna having just arrived at his late brother's residence.
ట్యాంకర్లో వాటర్ అయిపోవానే తప్ప నా అడుగులో పవర్ దక్కదురా. ఈ పేద రైతాంగం మీద కొట్టిన నీరు ఈ కరువు ప్రాంతంలోని పొలాల మీద కొడితే కనీసం 2 ఎకరాలైనా తడిసి తిండి గింజలైనా దొరికేయి. దోచుకెళ్తున్న వెధవలకి కొమ్ము కాస్తున్నారు. దోపిడీని ఆపి ఆడబడుచుల రొమ్ములు పగలగొడుతున్నారు.
This is the car that he was traveling in, the AP28 BW 2323, the number plate of the car in which he was traveling. And this is the car AP29 BD 2323 in which his son Janki Ram also passed away under similar circumstances on the 6th of December 2014. And many have already made this association whether there is a possibility that this number could have had some link. Of course, it's usually incidents like this that lead to a lot of speculation. But it was under similar circumstances on a similar highway along the same stretch that the two accidents have happened 4 years apart. And 5 years prior to Janaki Ram's death, Junior NTR himself was involved in a rather serious accident where he was injured severely. This accident today took place at about 6:30 in the morning in the area of Nalgonda. We'll now slip into a short break and return with more stories on the other side. Stay tuned.
Space, style, power. Honda WRV, the heart of action.
पहलवान जैसी ताकत, साइंटिस्ट जैसा तेज दिमाग, स्वस्थ हृदय, आंखों की ज्योति, लंबी आयु और ग्लोइंग स्किन के लिए गाय का घी ही सर्वश्रेष्ठ है। लेकिन ये फायदे तभी हैं जब घी शुद्ध हो। पतंजलि गाय का शुद्ध देसी घी खाइए, अपने मासूम बच्चों और परिवार को मिलावट के जहर से बचाइए।
इतनी हंसी है ये तारीफ, मैं किसको चुनूं? I don't know what to do.
अब जी भर के तारे चुनो क्योंकि द ग्रेट डायमंड सेल इज हियर। 20% ऑफ ऑन ऑल डायमंड्स। तनिष्क।
Welcome back. Now, the Supreme Court will be hearing the plea against arrests of human rights activists. Today, Supreme Court will be hearing petitions against the arrests of 5 individuals. That will be at 3:45 this evening. The petitioners also called for the arrests of the arrests of the activists a rather arbitrary set of circumstances. Pune police had arrested 5 persons on Tuesday for plotting to kill Prime Minister. That was a charge under which they were being charged. These are the 5 individuals: Vernon Gonzalez, Arun Ferreira, Gautam Navlaka, lawyer Sudha Bhardwaj, and Professor Varavara Rao of Osmania University, all of whom, I beg your pardon, IFLU University, and they have all been charged with plotting or encouraging the plotting of the death of Prime Minister Narendra Modi through various writings that were described as largely inflammatory. Many have criticized this as an arbitrary set of arrests, and hence a petition has gone to the Supreme Court, which is likely to be heard at 3:45 p.m. And of course, this is a preliminary hearing, so the chances of any ruling are unlikely at this stage, but of course the court will be taking a call on that. That will take place at 3:45. This comes in the midst of a massive crackdown on Maoist activity, and many individuals described loosely as urban Naxals have been a target of a large amount of scrutiny. And in so doing, these 5 individuals have been identified and have been taken in for questioning. Now, a sub-inspector attached to Kuvempu Nagar police station was taken to task by former Minister Vijay Shankar. It is said that the sub-inspector Raghu had opposed a candidate from campaigning openly since open campaigning for local body polls ends today. However, when the police officer went to execute his duty, he was verbally abused by the former minister, C.H. Vijay Shankar. This incident took place in Harikrishna Nagar in Mysuru. Let's just listen in.
ನಾನು ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಕ್ಯಾಬಿನೆಟ್ ಕೂತು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜರ್ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಲಾಕ್ ರಾಜ್ಯವೇ ನೋಡಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರಘು ಅವರು ಬಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋಣ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ನಾಸೈ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ.
Here we see a former minister speaking rather rudely to a sub-inspector who was merely discharging his duty and stopping any campaigning. Today is the last day for campaigning and there are certain rules that have to be followed, and when pointed out, all the sub-inspector got was a volley of verbal abuse. Such is the respect that the police garner from former ministers.
ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ರಘು ಅವರು ಬಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋಣ ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ನಾಸೈ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. ಈಗ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಬಹಿರಂಗವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು.
Now, State BJP Chief B.S. Yediyurappa has made a series of scathing criticisms against the coalition government, further stating that the government's collapse is imminent and that BJP will not try to destabilize the government, that the government itself is in a self-destruct mode and will collapse due to internal conflicts between the Congress and the JDS. Yediyurappa also said that the Congress-JDS coalition is dysfunctional and no development work has been conducted because of an ongoing tussle on a larger scale between Siddaramaiah and H.D. Kumaraswamy, and that the ministers are not concerned about the welfare of the common man. These were the criticisms brought forward by B.S. Yediyurappa. Meanwhile, CM H.D. Kumaraswamy visited Ramanagara today and will be hearing continuously the grievances of people from 4 villages in the district. He will also be holding a meeting in Ramanagara and Kanakpura Taluk. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Kumaraswamy also spoke over the government completing 100 days. He expressed satisfaction over the government's performance, especially in discharging largely the farm loan waivers, as has been described, as well as various projects as well.
ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅವಧಿ ಮೈತ್ರಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅವಧಿ 100 ದಿನಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಸತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದೇನಿದೆ. ಈ 100 ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಹಲವಾರು ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಒಂದು ಗುರಿ ಇಟ್ಟು ಕೆಲವು ನಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಒಂದು ವಿಷನ್ಗಳೇನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನಕ್ಕೆ ತರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ವೇದಿಕೆ ಈಗ ಕಳೆದ 100 ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದೇನಿದೆ. ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ ತಿಂಗಳಿನಿಂದ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನಕ್ಕೆ ತರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಸಮಯ ವ್ಯರ್ಥ ಮಾಡದೆ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಗೆ ಪೂರಕವಾದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
No, that was Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy speaking about the achievements of the government, but he's also there as this is the last day for local body poll campaigning, given that the polls are on Friday the 31st of August and require a last-minute push, perhaps, as far as campaigning is concerned. Ramanagara is one of the constituencies for which he was elected, although he had to step away considering he was elected also from Chenpatna, and he's retaining Chenpatna. But at the same time, he has been making frequent visits to Ramanagara, observed by many as him wanting to remain strong in the area. Meanwhile, the Pejawar seer went all out and slammed every member across the political spectrum. Firstly, the Congress-JDS coalition government was slammed, stating that some people within the Congress are trying to destabilize the government. He also went on to slam the BJP, stating that even the BJP is attempting to bring down the government and that he was unhappy with the functioning of the coalition government. Everyone must work together for the welfare of the people. He also stated that it is important that regardless of political leanings, there should be a united perspective for the betterment of the state of Karnataka. More big news coming in. Chief Minister Kumaraswamy has refuted B.S. Yediyurappa's allegation on phone tapping. Just a little while ago, when Yediyurappa said that his phone was being tapped, as was Siddaramaia's, Kumaraswamy has refuted this and said, "Will order an investigation if B.S. Yediyurappa produces proof." Yediyurappa must have told what BJP did in its tenure. This is what Chief Minister Kumaraswamy said in a retort to what Yediyurappa said earlier. This is in response to what B.S. Yediyurappa had earlier said during a gathering of the media at the Malleshwaram headquarters of the BJP. Let's just listen into first what Yediyurappa said a little while earlier about the possibility of his phone being tapped.
ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವರು ಸೇರಿ ಅನೇಕ ಪ್ರಮುಖರ ಫೋನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಮಗ್ರ ಒಂದು ತನಿಖೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಈ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಫೋನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನು ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಅದು ಮುಂದುವರೆದಿದೆ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂಥ ಸಂಗತಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ತತ್ಕ್ಷಣ ತಡೆಯದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಮಗ್ರ ತನಿಖೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಒತ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡೋರಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸಮಗ್ರ ತನಿಖೆನೂ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀವಿ.
Well, it was not just his phone that Yediyurappa alleged was being tapped. He even went on to state that it was Siddaramaia's phone that was also being tapped as well. And this has also come at a time when we're a few months away from Congress leaders alleging that the central government led by the BJP was also tapping phones. And that's a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. Up next is a NEWS9 special. Stay tuned.
Jumping over mountains, diving into oceans and saving the world. That is not action. Action is scaling new heights, lighting up the world, and discovering new battlefields. Space, style, power. Honda WRV.